Peace, love, light, everyone, and welcome to The Journey. My name is G.I. Adams. I am a creative pastor, gardener, leadership developer, and entrepreneur based in Atlanta with a mission to spread the message of authenticity while impacting lives through freedom, faith, and fine arts.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad that you have decided to join us here for the journey. Again, I am Gia Adams, and today I just want to give you a little oil, give you a little word, a little help as we are going on throughout this journey. There are a lot of times that we go through life and unaware of how we can be free or um, uh, we don't really understand what it means to enjoy life or to have an abundant life. And so, our whole mission is to spread the message of authenticity. Be real, be who you are. Know that you are enough, that you are strategically created by a master artist, that you have everything that you need, that you're already affirmed. You don't need anybody to validate you. We want to provide that with you, but we also want to simply just lead you to peace, love, life. So we want to welcome you all to this program. Welcome to the journey with G.I. Adams. Today, we're going to talk in a lesson titled Reaping What is Sown. Again, is reaping what is sown. Many of us are on this journey, and the reason why a lot of things are happening today is because we've sown seeds of our in our past, and we're reaping the harvest today. Whether it is good, whether it's bad, today we just want to talk about how we are sowing seeds throughout the world. So I want to just welcome you all to the journey once again, and I hope tonight that you are impacted and taken to a higher dimension in yourself, and most of all, being led to peace, love, life. I want to, before we do that, I want to go ahead and get a little infomercial because we're all about self care and balance in mind, body, soul, and spirit. What we have some products available to you. Some products available to you to purchase at www.giadams.com. Of course, you can go to the website and subscribe and of course subscribe on YouTube and continue to look us up wherever you are. But we have things like bath salts like Sound Mind, which is made with orange, rose, yingling. And what it does is calms the mind and it brings you to the tranquil self. We also have things like the lavender body butter. This is simply just a shea butter with real lavender inside of it. If you can see behind me, we have a plethora of different plants and whatnot. And so you'll be able to see more of that in the future. Just stick along in the journey and you'll learn more. We also have today some healing black bar. This is what we call healing black bar. You can get this on our website at www.giadams.com/shop. Just a brief description about this bar. This is one of the best soap that you can ever use. If you got burned, this is a great source to use to help just not only just clean the skin and purify the skin and all that, but it also is a help of healing. So this is what we call a healing black bar. We have a 3-pack, we have 5-pack, we have one single, large, smalls, the sizes that you want. You can go to our website at www.giadams.com/shop. Something else that we also have available to you is a brown sugar scrub. We have sugar scrubs exfoliants. This one, what we have right here, is lemongrass delight. This is made with real lemongrass, and everything that you are seeing on the website, it comes straight from the Truly Organics garden. So I want to welcome you to go ahead and go to the website and get your self-care essentials. That's what we're all about, helping you receive the self-care that you are due. Don't be deceived. Our master artist is not marked. And he is not somebody that you can play with. He is somebody that is real. So don't be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reap what he sows, and whoever sows to please their flesh, from the flesh will they reap in destruction. And whoever sows to please the Spirit, that they will also reap things of the Spirit, which is eternal life. Wherever you are on your journey, wherever you are here where you are because you planted a seed, or a seed was planted, and now you're reaping that harvest. Whether you realize it or not, everything that you are experiencing in your life is a direct result of seeds that you've sown in your past. It is a direct result of the things that you planted in your past. Today, we are planting seeds for the harvest in your future. Today, we want to provide you with something that's going to help you have an abundant life, an abundant future, a life that you don't have to always worry or be in denial, or be stressed or be worried, but one where you can be free and receive all the goodness that is available to you simply by you starting to plant good seeds. So today we're planting the seeds for the harvest of your future, just as a horticulturalist or a farmer expert, or myself, we take moments to expect a crop from the seed he sows, and we can expect a harvest from that seed that we have sown, good or bad, right? That's why we have to be deliberate about the seeds that we are sowing. We have to be deliberate with the seeds that we're sowing. And you got to also remember that not only do we have to be deliberate about the seeds that we're sowing, we have to be reminded that different seeds have different seasons that you are able to sow it. So if you plant it too early, it may not work. If you plant something that is a summer vegetable in the winter, it won't be as beneficial unless you are in a growing house or some type of incubator or some type of greenhouse. It is necessary for you to be aware of when it is appropriate to plant seeds throughout different seasons. There's no point in you trying to get a whole bunch of marigolds and plant a whole bunch of marigolds in the fall, and let it rest in the winter. It's gonna die out unless you properly have the conditions, the weather, the right temperature, the right soil temperature for that particular seed that you are planting. So it is important for us to be deliberate about the seeds that we're sowing, and expect a great harvest when we put the work in and when we make sure that we are sowing. Now, we don't have nothing to do with how the process goes and how it gets to its fruition or producing fruit, but what we can do is tend to it. I believe the scripture tells us that one plants the seed, another water, and God does the increase. Now, it makes no sense for us to be digging in the ground every single day just to see if the seed is growing. After a while, we have to learn to be patient and allow it to grow in its time. If you rush it, it won't work. So it's being aware of how you are tending to that seed that's really important. So be deliberate about that seed. Know when season is that you can see it and sow it rather. And we have to wake up every day and set our minds on those practices such as watering it and fertilizing it and making sure it is nourished and make sure it's cared for, making sure that it has no pests or don't even add in. I'm an organic horticulturalist. I like to make sure that everything is done from the earth, created from the earth, fertilizers come from the earth, or I have some natural remedy rather than getting pesticides to pollute what can possibly happen for that fruit. I'm not here to produce bad fruit, one that can get you sick, but I want something that is healthy and truly organic that comes and it can benefit me with all the nutrients and the vitamins that it can produce for my life. I want that for it. And so that's something that we need to work about. So the first thing that we have to recognize, and this is the first point that I have available for you tonight, or wherever you are on this time watching this video, the first thing that I want to provide for you is before you plant seeds, you have to make sure that you're planting it in good soil, in good ground. And so when you're planting in good ground, we can also relate this to how we think it in our mind. If your mind is not a good place, then it's going to be difficult for good things to come into you. And it's going to be difficult for you to plant it in your heart and produce good things. It's going to be difficult for you to produce good fruit if you're not aware of the toxicities that are around you. So in the garden, sometimes I recognize that there may be little bites on the the leaves. There may be little holes in the leaves or little holes in some of the crops. And then I recognize there's a reason why. It's because there is a pest. There is something that is not something eating away at it. Something negative is coming against this fruit. So now what I have to do is go and find some natural remedy or create some concoction, maybe neem oil. Maybe it is just you getting some soap together or getting the water hose and spraying all those amphits off. Whatever it is, I have to tend to what that ground is like. I have to test that ground. I have to make sure that it has the right pH. I have to make sure that it has the right stuff around it, because sometimes things that are not right, the nutrition, the nitrogen, or the pH, or whatever it is that may be going on in that soil and that ground, could bring in pests if you're not careful and not properly tending to that ground. So when you are planting seed, it is important for you to recognize and be aware of that soil that you're planting. And so today, what we're going to do, you all are going to join me in an experience, and I implore you all, wherever you are, to start doing this as well. And it's plant some seeds. And you don't have to have a huge garden, but you can have little pots around you. You can have little pots like this, and something small. You can use little small things like this. And what I usually do, if I had a plant before and it came in a small container, I recycle that same pot. That way I can produce another crop like this lemongrass, for example. Right? So if you go to the store and you find some, or even if you got a mason jar, or something that can let water out, just put it in there, put some dirt in it, and move forward from there. What we have here available right now is some dirt, but what I want to do is I want to take a moment to connect you back to Truly Organics, and you can go to www.giadams.com/shop and get your truly organic products like this lemongrass delight brown sugar scrub. Yes, yes, this was planted in good soil, good ground, and so it yielded some good product. And what we did was it grew. After it grew, we cleaned it. After it grew, we harvested. We cleaned it and we let it hang to dry so that it can dry out. And what we did was we slapped it, gave it a love, gave it a little tap, a little bit, and then we added the boiler method, and made an oil out of it. And then we created some lavender and lemongrass, rather, products. We chopped it up from the garden, and then we also add that into the exfoliant. That way you can get something real natural and truly organic, and that is going to help relieve that skin, the inflammation that you may have in the skin or whatever it is. We also grow lavender, and in our lavender garden, we have to make sure that that soil is right as well, or it won't produce a good or yield a good crop or good fruit in order for us to produce stuff like this lavender body butter. Now, we didn't solely create this ourselves, but we did get this from Ghana, which comes from the earth. It came from the earth, and this healing black bar is going to be very beneficial for your skin, especially those who are burn victims. It blessed me. For those who are not aware, in 2021, I suffered burns all on my face, third-degree burns, and I can tell you my face was wiped away. And using these products, God planted on my mind and my heart to create these essential products, and not only just to help me to get back to my proper look, but it also helped me to really be able to understand nature and be able to be a blessing to somebody else. Maybe you are having some issues with your skin and self-care, and this is what we want to do, just provide you a one-stop place to receive all that things that are going to help lead you to peace, love, light, while also creating balance of body, soul, and spirit. So our desire in our heart is really just to help you become your full self, because self-care is not selfish, it is necessary for an abundant life. So get your orders in at www.giadams.com/shop and go ahead and get your truly organic products. My brothers and sisters, I want you to be aware of how the ground is, the soil is. So what we have available here, we have a little dish of dirt, soil. We put soil in here, and then what we are doing now is we have a collection of seeds available, and you can also go to our website soon and start picking up fresh seed. And you can. I'm standing right here at a mint garden. I got mint right here coming from my garden. Just literally just pick this out, and ooh, it smells so good, y'all. Ooh-wee. So y'all can go to the website at www.giadams.com/shop and actually order some fresh peppermint. If you want to grow it, you can grow it. If you want to just use it for a mojito or whatever one of your cocktails or whatever you want to use it for, you can definitely use this peppermint. So go to our website at www.giadams.com/shop. We have lemongrass, lavender. We have all those things that's going to really help get that skin without having those alcoholic chemicals on the body. So in order for us to produce these things, we had to start off with good soil, good soil, good soil. So what we have here, we have a little mixture of soil mix, potting mix, ground mix, and we have a little our own little concoction going on within here. What we want to do now is just put a little bit of water on it. Yeah, we're gonna use one of these little pumps here. We're gonna wet it a little bit. Yeah, wet it just a tad. You have to be reminded and be aware of what you are putting on your soil. Is it good ground? Will it be a ground worth sowing seed into? This even goes to talking to the people that what you call friends. I'm going to parenthetically insert this. It is weird to me for us when we have toxic behavior and toxic thoughts to run to talk to toxic people to get advice. Ooh, I'm still trying to understand, to be real with you, why are we running to our toxic friends to get help when we have toxic situations going on? Is that good ground to be sowing this information in? Is it good ground for me to be planting this seed in? Is this good ground for me to be even bringing my problems and trying to get advice? Is this a good place for me to come and be able to be expressive of myself? Is this a safe space? Is this a place where I will grow and manage and be tended and produce good fruit? Is that the ground? Is that soil good enough to be planted? So we have to be aware of the soil that we are using before we start planting the seed. What I have now is the seed. What I did was we went to the store, and this is just a good idea for anybody to do. I implore you, when you go to the grocery store and get your produce or get your let's say you got bell peppers. This is green bell pepper. Instead of throwing away all of it, first of all, the remnants you can use as a compost. The scraps you can use as a compost, use for the compost, which will help go back into the soil to give it all the nutrients that it needs, and it can help something grow. But when you get the seed, you want to make sure you can keep the seed and then plant the seed. It's the same thing with celery. You can cut the end of the stalk off and plant that in soil. You can put it in water and let it sit for a while, or you can just put it directly in soil, whatever is best for the condition and the zone that you might be in. But what we do here is what we take those scraps, or we take those seeds, those onions, the rest of those things that can root again, and we put it inside dirt. That way, it's a continual thing, and we keep continually producing something in the garden. So that's one of the moves that we often make when we are out here to produce good things, right? So what we want to do in this moment, if you got your dirt, you got your seed, you can just take this moment and get that seed and dump some of it in a tray, dump some of it in a bag or something, whatever you choose. And then um, be able to provide that and put it in soil, right? So that's what we want to provide you with some information about how to better um, use the things that you are buying for your benefit. So right here, what we're doing is we're taking off the seed of our bell pepper that we bought from the store. We're just going to take that off, get some of those seeds, put that to the side. So all you see is seed. When you are dealing with seed, you have to look at the shape, the color. Is it brown? Is it well, all seeds have different shapes, forms, and sizes, of course. But for example, like the bell pepper, is it good seed? Is it worth sowing into that good ground? Is it worth sowing into the ground? Right? It might be good ground, but it might not be good seed. So it might be very well a good opportunity for you to express your feelings to somebody who is a good listener, but is that listener somebody who is toxic? Is that listener somebody who is going to benefit you or going to receive what you're saying and grow from it in a positive way? These are the things that we have to be aware of. So when we're looking at our seed, we have to make sure that the seed is good, is worth planting. So what I'm gonna do is right now we have the good soil ahead of us. We have rows. We got 12 rows here. What we're going to do is we're going to divide it up with different seeds, and we're going to get a pinch of seeds in our hand, and we're going to put it directly in the dirt. We don't want to stick it all the way down and try to put a hole and force it down. We're going to put it lightly on the dirt. That way it can do what it do. We're going to put maybe about 2 or 3 seeds per little tray that we're putting it in. Something gonna catch, something gonna catch, something gonna catch. Yes, yes. So we're gonna put the seed in, putting the seeds in. Y'all go ahead and find something if you have not yet gotten your seed and your dirt, your soil. Go ahead and find some soil and find some dirt in a little container and go ahead and start planting something. Go plant some seeds, some good seeds, okay? I don't know what's going on in this future. I don't know what's going on. Well, the future that I see that I'm prophesying today is a future that is going to be one of great turmoil and distress. But if we start planting good seeds now, we'll be able to reap the harvest a lot sooner than later. Good harvest, right? So we got our seed in. We're going to only do 2 rows of the bell peppers, and then we're going to just cover that back up with just a little dirt. And after doing that, planting the good seed, uh-huh, after planting the good seed, we want to take some time to let that slightly put some more dirt on top of it. Make sure it's all even, make sure it's covered, not to the point where it's going to suffocate, but have enough air flowing through the soil that it will be able to grow through the soil. We don't want nothing to take a long time. Okay, we're going to do this right, and this is actually going to start off as a greenhouse for the garden, and it's going to get a little bit bigger in the future. But what we do, we have our little, little concoction going on right here. We planted some seeds in these 2 rows right here. We put bell pepper seeds inside of this, and now we're going to add water on top of it. We're going to get you a better angle so that you're able to see what we are doing as well. All right. So what I recognized is as we are planting seed, even though we want to put seed in the ground, we have to be aware that we don't want to um, make it a problem as far as pushing it down too much or letting it suffocate. We want to make sure that it has all it needs that it can thrive and survive through the season. Okay, as we're planting, as we are sowing, as we are reaping, as we are doing what we can to try to give and produce good fruit, we have to be aware that we are on the journey of making fruit that is going to benefit the body. So when we do this, it's important that we are aware of what's going on around us, okay? So what we have here is, again, our little bucket of soil paired here like this. There we go. Can y'all see it better? All right, so what we want to do, welcome on those who are just now joining in. I'm so glad that you're here. We're talking about reaping and sowing, reaping what you sow. And what we're showing is the first product of what you are doing, the life cycle of a seed. To come from, and in order for you to produce good fruit, you have to be um, in good ground. So we got good ground here, good soil here. Now the next thing we're going to add are some sunflowers, some fall sunflowers. These are going to be massive, okay? These are going to be massive. So I'm ready to see what's about to happen. So we got our seeds in our hand, all right? We're just gonna just stick it in. We're gonna do two of them in each one of them. Sunflower seeds can be very um, tall and stalky. Ooh, good Lord of hosts. They are some beautiful. They are something beautiful. All right, y'all hear me? So plant some good seeds today. Plant good seeds. Sow in good ground so that you can reap a great harvest. All right? When you sow in good ground, you'll be able to reap a great harvest. Right here, we have sunflowers, we have some peppers, and these are just going to grow in this little greenhouse for a couple of weeks, and it's going to provide some. We're going to just continue to tend to it appropriately and give it the proper attention that it needs. So we have looked at the soil. We recognize that the soil is good. We recognize how important it is to have good ground. We planted the seed. Now, after you planted the seed, it's now time for us to water. Okay? So you get some water and water yourself every day. The water is the Spirit of God. I just use it as an example. This living water. You will never have to thirst again when you connect to Jesus. You will never have to thirst again and have to worry about all that again. You can just trust and believe that you are taken care of, that God has your back. And so one step that we forgot to just do for a moment ago is just lightly put the dirt on top of it just again to make sure that it is covered properly, not smashing it down, but you want to put the seed in and put it on the dirt. That way it can have some air and allow the process to work. All right. And so after we planted the seed, you want to put the water in. I like to put warm water first because it helps the germination process. So we do warm water first, and then after that first planting of the seed, you don't want to um, do any more warm water. You want to do the right temperature water, um, and that can be roughly 65 or less, you know. So we got our seed in, good ground, planted the seed, and now our hope and our prayer is that it grows into something beautiful and we're able to reap the harvest and produce good fruit, right? This is something that we planted a long time ago. This is okra. And you look how big this okra is, right? If we're not planting good seeds, we won't be able to have good fruit to eat off of. What am I saying? We need to speak good things, positive thoughts, positive affirmations, affirming and recognizing that we are enough and planting the seeds of hope, planting the seeds of love, planting the seeds of joy, planting the seeds of happiness, right? We got to plant those seeds, and that way we are able to produce good fruit. Rather, it is us talking to a friend, rather it's us talking to ourselves, rather it's us just just out here planting good just seeds in the ground. We need to be very aware of the seed and how we are handling what we're doing, right? So listen, I hope that somebody has at least learned something throughout this little process, that you reap what you sow. If you put bad seed in the ground, guess what you're going to reap? You're going to reap bad stuff, right? If you put bad negative words out there, what you're going to do? You're going to reap those negative consequences. You're gonna have to suffer when you speak negative about yourself. You're gonna have to suffer when you speak negative things about other people. And if you're not careful, the things that you share with other people about other people can be a bad seed, which causes that other person to look at somebody else that has not even had a relationship with them yet in a negative way. So you have to be aware of what you're putting out there. Your words are seeds. Your words, the actions that you do are seeds. And that's why it's important for us to produce good seeds. Put out good things. Put out good words. You are beautiful. You are enough. You are worthy. You are valuable. You are everything. You are the cat's pajamas. You are the cream of the crop. You rise to the top. Hey, yes, 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 my friend. Yes, you are everything and more. You have what it takes, and don't allow anybody to tell you anything differently. And those are the things that we need to be speaking into each other. We don't need to be speaking negative things such as you're dumb, you're stupid, you're never going to amount to anything, that your mama don't like you, that's why you're a deadbeat, that's why this. No, we want to speak life into people. We want to speak great things into people. And when we do that, guess what? Good deeds come after it. So I want to encourage you to sow good seeds so that you can reap good harvests. Remember, God is not deceived. God is not, don't be deceived. God is not marked. Whatever a man soweth, he shall reap. Whatever you do towards somebody, rather it is good or bad, you will reap what you sow. When you have decided to plant a business, guess what? You're planting a seed so that you can reap something for the future. And you do this when you're doing this, when you're planning a business, when you're planting something like this, you have to be aware of what you're doing. Is this a good idea? Is this a good plan? Is this a good opportunity for me, so that I can look in my future and be like, oh my God, I'm so grateful that I planted this seed. Now I'm reaping a good harvest. If you do things right at the beginning and start right at the beginning and continue, yes, it's going to be a journey. Everything is not going to be good all the time. Everything is not going to be happy all the time. But when you recognize that the seed that you're planting is good seed, fam, you're going to reap a harvest of an abundance. I promise you, you'll start getting stuff like this, okay? We put down good seed, and guess what we reaping? Good harvest. This is okra, fam. And this is gonna be so good when I fry it. This gonna be so good when I put it in the oven and do my little thing. And when I eat this, it's gonna be nourishment for me. It's gonna help my body and give me all the vitamins that I need. Guess why? Because it is good. It is good fruit. I planted some good seed. And that's why I want to encourage you to do the exact same thing. Plant some good seeds so that you can reap a good harvest. That way your future does not have to be dismal or a reproach, but something of joy and peace. I want a happy future. I want a joyful future. Matter of fact, I want a great right now. And so because I want that, guess what I'm doing? I'm going to plant some good seeds. You are worthy. You are enough. You are beautiful. You are a masterpiece strategically created from a master artist. You have everything that you need. All you have to do is choose to start planting those good deeds and those good words and those good actions so that other people can start being like, oh my God, fam right here, I want to be just like him or her. Fam right here got it all. Fam right here is a blessing. Fam right here is going to be on the top because simply they planted some good seeds. Listen, when we take some time to be aware of the ground that we're sowing, being aware of the seeds that we're sowing in, life gonna get a lot better. But when we think negative, speak negative, live negative, and have a heart of negativity and a mind of negativity, our future is going to be dark and disgusting. But when you decide to speak life over yourself, when you speak life over other people, when you start being there for people when they need you, when you start being somebody that somebody can look up to, that you are encouraging, when you just give a nice hug to somebody or a nice, hey, good morning, you are a beautiful person, something like that can take somebody a long way, and that can have a great impact on their life as well as having a great impact on yours. I'm reminded of the study that when you are depressed, the best way you can get from depression with beyond taking medical pharmaceuticals or whatever it is, or beyond taking drugs, you do a good deed. And then when you do a good deed, it brings in that chemical. I forgot the name of it, y'all. So don't worry too much about the name. But when you do good deeds, when you're depressed, that depression starts easing down, right? And so that's why it's important for us to sow good seeds so that we can reap great harvests. I hope today that you will receive some help for your life that's going to help you have a greater future. Start today by speaking life into yourself. If you need to just go and write on your mirror with a dry erase marker and say that you are enough, do that, because that is just a simple planting of seed to help you remind you that you are worth it, that you are everything, that you are the cat's pajamas, that you are the cream of the crop. So I thank y'all for joining us here on the journey. Today, we just wanted to be with you all for a moment to just talk about planting good seed. And we just showed you how to plant seed and create your own garden. And you can have an oasis in your back. Ooh, fam, I promise you, once you start your garden, it's therapeutic. It will help you produce good fruit and good roots if you do it properly. This has been The Journey, and I am Gia Adams, pastor, horticulturalist, creative, and entrepreneur, and soon to be author. So we want to look out for that. That our book is going to be coming out pretty soon. Look out for it. Stay down on our website and get your self-care essential products. You can go to www.giadams.com/shop and get your body exfoliant. You can get a brown sugar scrub like this. These are all organically made from our garden that we take time with our hands and make with love, so that you can have a self-care essential that's going to lead you to peace, love, light, that's going to help your skin and make you feel a lot better than ever before. We have lavender body butters. We have the healing black bar. If you're not aware of the accident that I was in the past, I ended up having to deal with a excessive third-degree burn on my face, and y'all, it was a journey. And because it was a journey, I needed something to get my face back where it was. And most people who have third-degree burns on their face, or some type of burn, they have to put a skin graft or something. Like my hand, for example, you can see that they had to put something on top to just be able to protect that layer, and so that you can your skin can come back. But I didn't have to deal with getting the skin graft on my face. I prayed to Father. I said, Master Artist, you created me beautifully and strategically. Make it look like I ain't went through nothing. And so, as you all can see me, God has been good to me. And it helped by also making sure I had a good self-care routine, a good practice of having the proper organic products to get back to my skin, because that's where we came from. We came from the dust of the earth. And are you good dirt? Are you good ground? Are you a good person? Are you mentally stable? Are you becoming emotionally aware, emotionally intelligent? That way, seeds can be planted. Good seeds can be planted inside of you. That way, you can have a good future, and also you can do the exact same thing and produce a good harvest. All right, fam. So listen, go to www.giadams.com, get your truly organic products, and I promise you, you're going to be led to peace, love, light. We have bath salts, we have brown sugar scrubs, we have whipped body butters, we have even organic products that you can buy. Produce. Our farmer market is coming out soon, probably later on in the fall, where you can buy pumpkins, watermelon, cantaloupe, and your flowers, and etc. Those things will be available to you just by going about www.giadams.com/shop. Our desire is to lead you to peace, love, light with those products. And our whole desire and our mission here at Truly or at GI Adams Worldwide is to spread the message of authenticity while impacting lives through freedom, faith, and fine arts. And this is a part of the freedom pillar where we are connecting back to nature and such like. And as we close out, we want to say, journey well, my friend, and enjoy your life. Live an abundant life. And self-care is not selfish. It's necessary for an abundant life. This has been the journey, and I hope that you have been taken to a higher dimension in yourself and becoming more aware of the things that you're saying or the things that you're sowing. Make sure you plant good seeds so that you can reap a good harvest. Again, I am G.I. Adams, pastor, horticulturalist, creative, entrepreneur, and soon-to-be author. Tune in next week at 7 p.m. for The Journey, and I promise you, you will be excited. You will not want to miss what we have then. For all my friends, go ahead and subscribe and let somebody else know that you are watching the journey each week to be taken to a higher dimension. For me to balance, and for you to balance, rather, that body, soul, and spirit. That's what we're here to do, to help you balance that body, mind, soul, and spirit. All right, this has been The Journey. Peace out, y'all.